Hello, welcome to Chaotic Crochet Chatter with Stitchcraft Gifts. I'm Jenny, and this is where I tell you all about what I've been up to for the last 2 weeks, or 3 in this case, and what I'm planning for the next couple of weeks. So I hope you enjoy. Good morning. Well, at time of recording, it's morning. It is the 3rd of July. Got a nice early start today, it's just coming up to 9:30. I've got lots to tell you about. I have got quite a lot of finished objects. I've got quite a lot of works in progress. Nothing new there. I will do a bit of a life update and a bit of chatter towards the end. I will of course tell you all about my surgery that I had a couple of weeks ago. What else? Yeah, just get you up to date on how things are. How are you doing? I hope you're alright. It feels like a long time since I've done this. It's only an extra week. It feels like it's been ages. Couple of bits of housekeeping. As ever, I will split this into chapters for you, so if there are any sections you're not so bothered about listening to, then you can skip ahead, or if you want to listen to something again, it's easy to skip back to the section that it's in. You can do that either from the progress bar on the video itself, or you can go down to the video description and it'll have the links for the timestamps there. Also in the description you will find information about everything I talk about today, links to patterns, information about yarn, projects, anybody that I mention, anything else I think you might want to know. If you think I've forgotten to include something, please do let me know and I will check and I will include the information later on. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to do chatter at the end. I think today I'm going to put it back to the end so we can get straight on into the content that you're really here for. I don't know, you want to hear all about the crafting, the crochet, the yarniness. But before we press on with that, I need to tell you about the giveaway that I am launching today, the day that this goes live on YouTube, which will be, what's the date? Friday the 5th of July. We are in July, yeah. Oh, I cannot keep a handle on which month it is at the moment. It's ridiculous. So, as I mentioned in the last episode, it has been my podcast birthday, the anniversary of the very first podcast episode I ever did. It's a whole year ago and a bit now. I wasn't as organised as I meant to be, so I'm a little bit late doing this, but only by a few weeks, so it's not so bad. In fact, a couple of weeks. Anyway, launching it in this episode. So, the important information for you. How to enter. Comment on the video. It's that simple. You can put anything you like, although kind comments are obviously appreciated more than unkind ones. I will also be launching it on Instagram, and I will of course link that in the description for this video, so you can get extra entries by commenting on the Instagram post, and by sharing that post and tagging me in your Instagram stories, if that's the thing you are able to do. It is launching today, the day the video goes live, not the day I'm recording. Friday the 5th of July it's launching, and it will run until the 16th, so that's 11 days. That's because that's the day before I next record, so the day before I record my next episode. Words will come out in the right order at some point, I'm sure. So yes, you've got plenty of time to enter, and you can, it will only be So maximum of 3 entries, 1 comment on this video, 1 comment on the Instagram post, share Itty stories. Actually no, I suppose you can keep sharing Itty stories, couldn't you? So you could get extras there. I'll write this all out in the description when I've actually thought it through properly. There will be 1, 2, 3, 5 prizes. The big prize that I will show you in a moment for first place. There will be a little goodie bag of crafty yarn related bits. I don't know exactly what I'm going to put in there yet, but I will find some nice things for you. There will be a goodie bag of sweets and or chocolate, some of my favourite bits and pieces. And then there will be 2 vouchers to use in my online shop. I'm thinking 15% off at the moment, but I might make it a monetary value. So check the description. I'll put it in there and on the Instagram post. Whatever I've written down is final. Yes, I'll show you the big prize in a minute, although I have shown you it before. How I'm going to do it, because it's across 2 platforms and I haven't had a lot of luck in the past with the comment picker tools that you get online as it is, I am literally going to keep a spreadsheet of entries. So every time I see a comment come in, or every time I get tagged in a story, I will note down the username of the person, how they've entered, and when they've entered, anything else that I think I need to know on a spreadsheet. And then when I draw the winners on the 17th of July, I will use a random number generator to pick names off the spreadsheet. So the names will just go on in the order that I receive them. I won't sort them alphabetically or anything like that. It will just be the order that they are received, and then random number generator to pick. So I think that's all the important details. It is going to have to be UK only because of postage. I cannot currently afford to post internationally. So I'm going to keep it to UK only, unfortunately. So if you're watching from abroad, I'm very sorry. I will, I'm sure, do another giveaway in the future that will be international. Watch this space. Prize. I have shown this before, so I'm not going to go through the entire contents today, but I will show you a little bit. Yes, I did go through it in a previous episode. I think it's obvious from the title, but I will track it down and link it in the description for you, so you can go and see all the contents of this box if you would like to. This is the outer packaging. It is a Crochet Society box, one of their subscription boxes. So I'll open this up. This is just the outer packaging, the postage box. And it was sent in, which is very pretty to itself, to be fair. And then this is the box itself. And this is box number 48, which, when did it arrive? A couple of months ago, I think. And the reason I've decided to give it away, I love, most of the time, I love the Crochet Society boxes. The yarn that they include is really good quality and the patterns are always brilliant, everything. This one just isn't to my taste, so I thought I would give it away to one of you. So let's have a little look inside. I'm not going to go through everything. There is a cloud of stuffing for amigurumi and so on. I have tried to keep the tissue paper nice and neat for you, but this has been opened and closed a few times now, so it's not the neatest. That's the stuffing. A little escapey bit. I won't get this all out. We have got, you see, 5 balls of yarn in there. They are all 50 gram ones. Yeah. So that's 250 grams of yarn in various colours. There's a few other bits and bobs. You get the hook, Crochet Society hook, you get a themed stitch marker, you get a couple of other little bits and pieces, I can't quite remember what's in here now, and you get the little mini magazine which has got 3 or 4 patterns in it, as well as like an interview with the designer and a few other bits and pieces in there. So hopefully that is of interest to you, and whoever wins it will be able to put it to good use. And yeah, good luck to everybody. So I hope, well, obviously someone's going to win. Whoever it is, I think is happy. Start again. My words have just gone. I hope whoever wins this is happy with it. I hope whoever wins the other prizes is happy with those too. I need to slow down so that my words actually come out in the way that they're meant to and not in a complete jumble. So that is the giveaway. Like I say, you can comment here, comment on Instagram, share the Instagram post and tag me in your story. And that will get you 3 entries. If you share it and tag me again, then you'll get extra. So that, I think, is all the all the I've gone. It's just whoosh, flatlined in my head. Yeah, everything I needed to talk about before I get started properly. That's what I'm trying to say. More tea. I'm very tired. Well, nothing new there, is there? There's a couple of very, very late nights. I had a bit of a crisis of confidence regarding the business the other day, which caused my mood to plummet. And when that happens, I almost always end up staying up far too late, even more than I normally do. I don't know, I do. It's part of the process, I suppose. And yeah, I've not caught up since then. Right, let's move on, shall we? And I will show you all the things I've finished. First of all, you can see I am wearing crochet. Finally added the sleeves to this dress. This is something I started last summer, and it's one of those projects where I got to a certain point and just stopped. Just hit a wall and stopped. I had made the sleeves, you know, I'd done the bulk of the work. Made the sleeves, I just didn't get around to attaching them to the dress. So it was very silly, but I've done it now. And obviously as soon as I did it, I was inspired to do this because we had a heat wave. Not last week, the week before, I think, really. Maybe beginning of last week, I can't remember now. And it was horribly hot. I thought, right, I need to sort that dress out because if this weather continues, I need nice cool clothes to wear. Of course, since I finished it, the temperature's dropped again, which I'm happy about. If you've been here for any length of time, you will know that summer is not my time of year and I much prefer the cooler temperatures. But it's just a bit ironic. But yes, at least it is ready now, so if we get another heat wave, I've got something to wear. So I'm not going to stand up, but I'll just come back a bit. This is a summer dress that I bought last year from Joe Brown's. It's a maxi dress and it's really lovely. It fits really well. It's got pockets, a nice floaty skirt and everything. It's a shirred bodice, smocking, whatever it's called. So that fits really nicely. The only thing that I wasn't especially keen on is the fact that it is sleeveless. I do wear sleeveless things, but I will always wear something else with sleeves. as well. I don't like the tops of my arms, basically. And obviously in summer, the fewer layers the better when it's hot. And this dress in particular, if I just twizzle, you can see it's got quite a low back to it, which again, helpful in summer, a bit of extra air on the skin. And so I didn't want to be covering that up all the time. And so I thought, right, let's just put some sleeves on it, and then it's not a sleeveless dress anymore. And there we go. These are self-designed. I don't know if you can see. Filet crochet and self-drafted pattern. And there's hearts. It's a repeat of hearts. 1, 2, I think there's 3. And then sort of 2 or 3, maybe 4 around. I did initially think about cuffing them and have kind of balloony sleeves, but for one, that would have meant using some extra yarn, because this has used all the yarn in these 2 colours that I had. So I'd have had to find another colour that went. But also I think it looks nice with them floaty. It's a very floaty dress generally. So I think floaty sleeves is the way to go. The yarn that I have used is, I purchased it from Hobby. The brand I think is Go Handmade. I have got this all written down somewhere, but I can't remember where I've put the booklet, the notebook. And it is the bamboo and tencel blend. Tencel is another plant-based fibre, and it is so silky and smooth and soft and drapey and lightweight and breathable. All the things you want from a summer garment. It is a little tricky to work with because it's not twisted. This is the DK weight, and so it's got like many DK yarns, not all but many, it's an 8-ply yarn, but the individual strands are not twisted together, and so it can be quite splitty. I don't really mind that. I find if I'm careful it is fine. It can cause issues every now and then, but I think it really contributes to just the lovely loose flowy feel of the fabric that you get and the smoothness of it, and I love it. I can't remember the exact colour names and numbers, but there's like a dark blue and a purple. It's just because I happen to have a skein each. No, 2 skeins of each colour. I have other colours as well, which I will be showing you in a bit when we get to works in progress. Yeah, I just thought they were the colours I had that went best with the dress. Obviously they don't match it, but you know, pink and purple, let's say, I'm just going to adjust the camera, sorry. Pink and purple is a pretty good combination. Blue and purple always go well together. Yeah, it works, just about. And it's completely unique and individual to me, which is always lovely. So there we go. I'm going to keep wearing it for the rest of the episode. So you'll get a good chance to see the sleeves in motion, hopefully. That's the wrong one, you can't see that one. But look how much they move. Yeah, it's just lovely. It really flows. So that's that. What's the next one I was going to tell you about? Right, okay, yes. So, I think I mentioned last time I was working on a commission for my mum. Well, commissioned by my mum for someone else. It's actually for my niece, Macy, and it has now been given to her. Her birthday has come and gone, and so I don't have it to show you, but I did take a bit of footage before I gave it away, so I will insert that now. So this is a commission I have been working on for my mum, but it's not for her to keep. This is actually for my niece Macy, who is my sister's almost stepdaughter. My sister and her partner aren't married, but, you know, in every other way. Macy is my sister's stepdaughter. And yeah, this is for Macy's birthday, which has actually just passed, but we've not been able to get it to her yet. Hopefully it'll be a nice surprise when we do. It's not quite finished technically. I'm going to add a little bow made from ribbon just up here, but otherwise it is completely done. I used the pattern by heartandsew.co.uk. It's just called Ballerina Mouse. So I used that pattern for the mouse head and body and arms and legs, and then the clothes I have done myself. So obviously the original pattern was for a ballerina, but having had a chat with my mum, Macy plays football, and this is a pretty close representation of the kit that she plays in, which is very cool. So I've done my best to recreate that. Purple t-shirt with black bits down the side and black bit on the front, black shorts, and then little black boots with purple laces. And like I said, we're going to put a black bow in just to add a little something extra. I have embroidered the face. The eyes are inspired by the tutorial by Cassandra from Craftably Ever After. I shall I'll pop a link to that in the description if I can find it again, because it's a really fantastic tutorial. And then the nose I just made up, basically. A little bit of embroidery thread. Quite proud of the face, actually. It's turned out really well. So I used a 2.5mm hook, and the yarn I used for the white is the Crochet Society Confection DK in Icing Sugar, which is colour number 4. Then the black is Stylecraft Special DK in black. And the purple is Paintbox Simply DK in Dark Aubergine, which is colour 148. And in total, I used about 50 grams of yarn all together. So that's that. I'm really glad that I can finally show you this. It's obviously been keeping it a secret, as obviously my mum's known about it, but I don't know that my sister has. And I know that my sister follows my Instagram. I don't know if she does follow my YouTube channel, but yeah, I didn't want to risk letting the ruining the surprise, basically. So there we go. Macy's mouse, all finished. Hopefully my mum's going to pick it up any day now and get it over to her. Okay, another gift. This is for my wonderful, wonderful friend Lindsay, who I have spoken about on the podcast before. I haven't seen her for a while. Pardon me. Through one thing and another. It's been far too long, in fact. And in fact, I've had to miss her birthday because of when my surgery was and the isolation period that I had to stick to afterwards. I haven't been able to see her for her birthday, and it's a big birthday this year. I won't give away the age, but it's an important one. However, I will be seeing her soon, and I asked her the last time I saw her what she wanted for her birthday. I said, I want to do something special, what do you want? And when was it? A couple of years ago now, I think, when she moved into her current house, made her a mandala to put on the wall. It's about pretty big, I think. Since then she has bought a caravan before taking the kids on holiday, and so she asked me to make a smaller one, similar vibes, you know, same colour, all of that, but it's the smaller one to go in the caravan. So I have, let me just get it the right way round for you, that way. Here we go. So now, I'm sure I have mentioned before how much I like making mandalas. This one has taken me a little while, not to make this mandala itself. It's very quick pattern, under a couple of hours in fact, but it took me a while to decide which pattern I was going to use, and then it took me a while to decide on the yarn. I kept trying different combinations and it wasn't working at all, wasn't happy with them, but I am now. What I will say is this isn't the full pattern. This is a section, the middle section of a larger pattern. The pattern is called Moon Petals and is from dryguna.com. Again, this will all be linked below. I don't know if the designer is on Instagram. I haven't really looked, but I will obviously put their website down for you. And I have used this pattern before, the full pattern, but obviously it won't all fit in this hoop, even with the tiny thread that I've used. I can't remember which round I went up to now. Let's see if I can count them. I can't really, not easily. 10 or 11 maybe, it might not even be that many. And then a couple of my own just to attach it to the hoop. So the yarn I've used is Scapia's Maxi Sugar Rush in Bridal White, which is colour 105. It's a lovely sort of creamy off-white rather than bright white, which is the sort of colour Lindsay wanted, which is perfect. And I've used a small hook, 1.25mm hook, and it's only used a tiny bit of yarn. It says use 5 grams of that yarn, which works out at about 28 metres or 31 yards. So tiny amount. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's come out, and hopefully Lindsay will be too. I'm sure she will. She'll certainly appreciate the effort, if nothing else. She's very crochet worthy, is Lindsay. Again, I've raved about her before. Yeah, she's a good woman. Good woman. Next. So again, another one I've mentioned before. Which bag is it in? I've got a big pile of bags down here. I need to make sure I pick them up in the right order. I had the pleasure of testing the latest pattern by Emma of Stitched Up by Emma on Instagram. This is her Call the Midwife Mile a Minute blanket, and it's another wonderful pattern. Worked it really nicely. I believe I have mentioned it previously. It's taken me a little while, but I did meet the deadline. And it mostly took a little while because I kind of stupidly I took a week or two off working on it and thought, no, it's a nice easy pattern, I'll work on it after the surgery, because I knew I had another week after that. Oh, it's lovely and easy, I'll be able to work on it then. Yes, I did not feel well enough to do much crochet at all for a few days, so that's a different story, which I will tell you more about at the end. But hey, I got there in the end, and it's lovely. The yarn has done a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of making it look as good as it does. Oh, there we go. I think I froze, but I think I'm back now. The colours in it are wonderful. But to be fair, all the other testers, it's completely different, every single one from the test group. Everyone's used different yarn, different colour combinations. I think one tester did it all in white, and every single version is absolutely stunning. And you know, this would make a really lovely blanket, baby blanket pattern. And I think I'm going to keep this. I may even make it bigger. I might add more border rows, or possibly even frog the border and add more panels and then redo the border. Haven't really decided. I might just leave it as it is. It's quite a nice little lap blanket size, and it is just so pretty. So yes, lots of fun testing that. As always, I am now waiting for her next pattern. Let me tell you the details of that one. So yes, the pattern is called the Call the Midwife Mile a Minute blanket. I believe it has now been released. I need to do a couple of posts on Instagram about it because I have not done so. You don't need to do that. That was a note to myself. I used, so the pattern does have hook and yarn recommendations, but it is the kind of pattern where you can use whatever you want, and Emma said use what you want. So this was just, I had a rummaging moustache, found yarn I liked, and away we go. So I used a 3.5mm hook with Stylecraft Dreamcatcher in Rainbow Dreams, which is 3216, which is obviously all the beautiful colours. It's colour changing cake yarn, which I've got a bit left actually. I'll show you the rest in a minute. And then King Cole Glitz DK in Jet, which is 480, which is the joining and the first row of the border. It's got a bit of sparkle in it, which is lovely. I made the strips longer than the pattern suggested, but then did only do 6 of them, which is what the pattern's written for. It ended up being roughly 30 by 38 inches, and I used a total of 296 grams of yarn, which is about 860 metres, or about, according to my maths, 940 yards. That doesn't sound right, but that's what I've written down. Now I will say the yarns, they're both labelled as DK. I would say they are more like a sport weight, to be perfectly honest. They're quite, they're certainly at the fine end of DK. That's the sparkly black, the Jet there, as you can see on my fingers, it's quite fine. And I've got a whole extra cake, I think, of that left. Yes, I do, which is lovely. And then I've got, I must have weighed this, how much of this have I got left? I've got about 70 grams, which is just under half. They're 150 gram cakes, they're Stylecraft. So yeah, I don't know, I could get another strip or two, or add to the border, or use it to make something else entirely. I don't know. It's lovely. This is so the King Cole, the black, is acrylic with a little bit of whatever they've used for the glitter. I can't remember. But yeah, this is acrylic, but it's not just acrylic, it is 90% acrylic, 10% wool. I think it's the first time I've used an acrylic wool blend. I've had acrylic and cotton, I've had wool and other things. I think acrylic and wool I haven't really used before, and I think you can see, I hope you can see on there, there's just a very slight fuzz to it, a bit more than you would get with just an acrylic yarn, and it's really lovely. What else can I say about it? Oh, it's a single ply as well actually, which I quite like. There are pros and cons to single ply yarn, which I won't get into now. One of the things I actually quite like about it is that it's just a little bit like thick and thin. There's not a massive variation, but there are a few bits where it goes a bit thinner, and then a few bits where it goes a bit thicker, and I really like the sort of texture that you get from that. Obviously it's not for everybody, it's not always practical, depends what you're making, but I like it. So I think that's everything to say about that. We'll just show it off again because it's pretty. Oh, I've not really shown you the border close up, have I? That there. So I'm not going to tell you how she's done it because it is a paid pattern, but really, really simple but effective border on this one. And yeah, like most of Emma's patterns, it works up beautifully, it's relatively quick, and it's very beginner friendly without being boring, especially if you've got basic knowledge of stitches but you haven't really tried filet crochet yet. This would be a really good introduction to how filet crochet works, basically, so the concept of it, because it's got the rows are very short because you're making strips and you're repeating the same pattern over and over, so you learn the pattern really quickly. In fact, I think after the first strip I didn't really refer back to the pattern because I'd already checked that it was right, that it worked, and I had it locked in my head, and all the rest I just went, right, no, I know what I'm doing, off I go. So that's always nice. I like it when a pattern's like that, where it's got enough, each row is different enough that it still keeps my interest, but I don't have to keep referring to the pattern all the time. I find that really enjoyable. So that is all of that. A few more little works in progress. Did I show you last time the drawstring bags that I was making? I think I did, because I told you all about the palaver I had with my sewing machine, didn't I? I can't remember whether I had quite finished them, but I have now. So these all went with me to the market that I was attending just after I last spoke to you. Unfortunately nobody bought them. It was a very quiet day, but they looked good on the stand. So these are all, they're not completely self-drafted, some of them, some are like this one, but the shape of the bag, the way I've constructed the bag, that's all me. So this one's completely self-drafted. It's just half double crochet stitches mostly, and then we've got a little row here where you've got single crochet, then bobble stitches or puff stitches, single crochet, and then that's repeated at the top. That's all just how it is. I'm not going to go through all the different yarns for these. I think I did go through them last time. There's basically using up yarn from my stash, so half used balls. There's some of it's Snuggly DK, some of it's Stylecraft, I think. Some of it is the Crochet Society's own yarn, their confection DK specifically, and then some of it's just random bits from my stash that I don't have labels for. And we have a tiny little one here, and this was made using the Morpho pattern from the Butterflies pattern pack by Sixel Design. It's a mosaic crochet one. Really like it. It's tiny but very cute. Then another of the patterns from Sixel Design. This is her big skulls, which I really like. And then the third one of her patterns that I use as Alexis at Sixel Designs is Mini Skulls, which is a pattern that I have used I think a couple of times now, but it was the very first mosaic crochet pattern that I ever tried, so I enjoyed revisiting this one. Obviously played with the colours a bit here, reversed them. I really like that. I like how it's turned out. Apologies by the way if you can just hear Kelvin in the background. He's got quite a few meetings this morning, and there's not a huge amount of space between our rooms, so you might just be able to hear him. Right, this one's another completely self-drafted one, and semi-deliberately, semi-accidentally, it's ended up looking a bit like strawberry, which I quite like. This is all, I think it's half double crochets again, and I've just carried the second colour behind on the rows where I've used those contrasting stitches. And then the last fully finished one that went to the market was this one. This is using the star stitch. I did slightly modify it so I could use it in the round in a way that I liked. There are tutorials for working star stitch in the round, but most of them still involve turning, which I don't like doing, so this one has been worked in the round without turning. At some point I may do my own tutorial for how I've done that, but I have not done so yet. If you'd like to see it, let me know, and that will give me a kick to actually do that at some point. I keep meaning to do more tutorial videos. I just haven't really got around to doing any yet. So if you'd like to see anything in particular, let me know and I shall work on it. But yeah, it's using the star stitch, and I've just done a couple of the rows in a different colour for a bit of contrast. So those are the 6 that were finished. I don't think they were quite finished last time, but was nearly there, and then I got them finished and took them to the market. Since then I have finished another. Have I completely finished it? Yes, I have. Which is another of the patterns by Sixel Designs, using one of her patterns rather. This is the Dragon Scales pattern. I picked the 2 colours out of Moustache, and then Ned chose which pattern I should use and which way around I should do the colours, and I think it's turned out brilliantly. It's like a fire dragon or something. So I'm really pleased with that one. That will get priced up and taken along to my next market. And then while I was at the market in Wetherby last time, I started and have done most of another bag. This one is completely made up, and in fact I was playing around with how to do, I'm just playing around with stitches basically. I haven't seen this particular stitch anywhere before. Let me know if you recognise it. Let me know. So it's double crochet stitches, that's US terms. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, chain 1, skip 1, and then the next row you work the double crochet over the chain space into the double crochet below, if that makes sense. And it's made this really lovely, like almost woven effect, which I like. So yeah, I don't know, I'm sure I haven't invented a brand new stitch. I can't have done. There are so many out there, but it's not one I recognise, so who knows. I don't know what it's called. If you do know, please do let me know, because I would, yeah, I like to learn things. So yes, this isn't completely finished. Obviously it hasn't been done up at the bottom yet. I haven't got a drawstring on it. I am thinking for high contrast I will dig out some black yarn if I have got any. I'm a bit low on black yarn at the moment, I keep using it. For the drawstring, I might do the bottom up with the yellow though, and then I'm tempted to do like a bit of surface crochet or something, do a little design, but I don't know what to do. A bit of surface crochet or some basic, very basic embroidery or cross stitch or something. What do you think? It's nice, it's lovely, I like it how it is, but I think it could be more interesting. So yes, that was technically a work in progress, but it's almost finished, and it is in with this bag, which is finished, so it made sense to show you now. I do intend to keep making more bags. I'm quite enjoying it. Yeah, I'm quite enjoying it, and you know, I think they're really useful. My sewing machine has now been fixed. My dad has fixed it for me, bless him. So I will at some point have another go with that and see if I can get linings sorted, because I think that would make them more attractive to people, basically. You know, most of the stitches I've used for those are very dense, so depending on what you put in the bag, it would contain it perfectly well. But obviously crochet does have holes between the stitches, and over time these things can stretch out a bit, especially because those are all using acrylic yarn. So it would be nice to have linings, fabric linings inside, just to stop that stretching happening basically, and to make them that little bit more secure. Okay, one final finished object. Technically it's lots, but they're tiny ones. And in terms of the project, this is kind of an ongoing thing. Again, making stuff to take to markets. I had a bit of a brainwave the other day about something small that I can make quickly that will hopefully appeal to people. I've been making scrunchies. So I've got one full batch that I've made, all using scrappy acrylic yarn, some of which are better than others. And these are mostly slightly different from each other, because I was still sort of experimenting. So some of these will go to my next market. Some of them I think I'm just going to keep and use myself, because they are perfectly fine, but I'm not quite comfortable with taking them and, you know, putting them up for sale. But I'm having fun making these. Again, they're really super quick. You know, I can whip up a few of these in half an hour, to be honest, especially when I show you the next batch. The next batch work up even quicker, and you know, they're a good little sort of filler project, you know, if we're waiting for tea to be ready, or in the space we have between tea and when Ned goes to bed, if I want to do a bit of something but don't want to get too bogged down or don't have as much time as I normally would. I'm really liking these ones where they've got a different coloured edge. I think that looks really nice. I have taken inspiration from a few different tutorials, so I'm not going to link anything specific, but if you search on the internet or on YouTube or wherever, you know, crochet scrunchie tutorial, that one's super frilly, I love it, you will find a whole bunch, and you know, a lot of them are very similar, to be honest. So there we go, I've got loads of these ones. I didn't realise quite how many were in this bag. my first batch. And what's the one more? Oh no, that was the last one out of that bag. So that is a complete batch. They are ready to be sorted. And yes, I think some of them I am going to keep for myself, but there are some that will definitely go off off to my next market and be put up for sale. And then I've started another batch. This bag, incidentally, is by Jeanette at Crafty Clegs Creations. I love it. She was doing Halloween bags last year and I saw this fabric and I was like, yeah, I've got to have that, thank you. And in here I've got what I will be calling my luxury scrunchies. I have pulled out a whole bunch of chenille yarns and fake fur type yarns, fluffy yarns, all the kind of novelty, speciality stuff. Not everything I've got, but a bunch of them. And these work up even quicker and look even better and are super soft, which I love. So I've only done a few so far. And again, there's different thicknesses. So I think I'm not so keen on that one, but I think once you had it in your hair, it would look pretty good. It's a lovely soft grey. For someone who likes kind of neutrals and pastels and stuff, I think that'd be quite nice. Oh, this one, the colour's a bit boring, it's just kind of brown, but it's a lovely, super velvety chenille. It just feels gorgeous. I've then got some of the purple chenille, which was one of the yarns my friend Fee gave me last year, I think it was. And then this one, super fluffy, brown again. I seem to have a lot of brown, but hey, that's okay. And this is the peacock yarn by Hobby, and it's like a fake fur one, and it's so soft. So soft. So yeah, I'm still working on that batch. I thought I'd do a few more. Well, I'm going to keep making scrunchies until my next market make it, and just make as many as I can, and I'll make more acrylic ones. I will make more chenille-y type ones. Just remembered there's some yarn in here I want to show you in a minute. I need to find that. I may look at making some cotton ones. I've got plenty of cotton yarn knocking about. There it is. We'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, I'm just kind of experimenting, see which yarn works best, and then I shall hit any that I think are saleable. I shall take to markets, and we'll see which ones do sell, if any. It'd be lovely if the next market I go to was slightly more successful in terms of sales than the last couple that I've done. But hey, you can't control that, you just get what you get on the day. Right, I think that is all my finished objects, so I'm going to get myself a little bit more tea and then we shall move on. Do you like my cup, by the way? Calvin bought me this a few years ago now. It's Chip from Beauty and the Beast. Oh, it's so cute. He's only little, but it's nice for just a little cup of tea. Right, works in progress. I've got, again, quite a bit to tell you. So, first thing to mention, we're in July now. Christmas in July is a thing in the crafty world. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I heard about it last year. Slightly late, as always. I thought, alright, I'm doing that next year. I love Christmas and I hate summer. So anything I can do to inject a bit of Christmas cheer into my summer, I'm gonna do it. So different people interpret Christmas in July in different ways. For me, this is going to be an opportunity to consciously think about what I want to be making this Christmas, and whether there's anything I can get started now. And then I might do a couple of things that I'm thinking of having a flash sale on the Christmas related items in my shop. Not that they're actually in my shop at the moment, but I will get them in. Having a little Christmas in July sale. And yeah, just giving myself permission to go, right, now I can look at Christmas things now. Because otherwise it gets to like November and I have a sudden panic because I haven't really thought about it properly. I haven't planned anything, and I've got presents I want to make and things I want to sell, and it just all gets a bit much. Whereas if I start now and have a bit of a planning session and start work on a few things, then hopefully that will reduce the panic later in the year. That's my theory anyway. So you're not going to be inundated with Christmas related posts on Instagram. There'll be a few, but it's not going to be every day. It hopefully won't get too irritating for people who don't like talking about Christmas and summer. Sorry, creaky chair. But yeah, there shouldn't be loads, but there'll be some. So, sorry, chair's gone really creaky. So, first things first, I am using this as an opportunity to finish a couple of long neglected works in progress that have been sat in my collection. You have seen this one before, you have seen this bag before. Can you remember what's in it? This is the Christmas jumper that I was making last year. That I mentioned. Was it last time? Probably not. It was probably the time before that, maybe even the time before that, that I was going to get it out and get it finished. It was on my list of things I was going to commit to doing. I made some good progress. Still haven't finished it. So all I need to do, this is, by the way, the pattern is the Festive Furs sweater by Manatee Squares, who does brilliant clothing patterns. And I got the body, in fact I got this almost completely done last year. I got the body done. You can see the Christmas tree detail. That's good. I'm glad you can see it. Yeah. And the body fits really, really well. I had done the sleeves and I was not happy with them. It ruined the shape of the whole jumper for me. And I got really fed up and annoyed and couldn't be bothered to figure it out and finish it. This was about the 20th of December, I think, last year. Thought, alright, never mind, let's put it away and leave it, and I'll come back to it. And I have come back to it, and I have frogged the sleeves, taken them off, and I have redone one of them and taken notes, slightly altered the pattern, redrafted the chart slightly. It's still got that Christmas tree detail on there, and I've tried it on with one sleeve and so far so good. All I need to do, hopefully, is do the other sleeve. It shouldn't take me long. I don't know why I haven't done it. So that is back on my list of things to do. That's an afternoon, an evening. It shouldn't take me long to do it. And hopefully that will then be a lovely finished project. I can wash it, put it in my wardrobe, and when we get to December I will have a lovely cosy Christmas themed jumper that I can wear. I will get it done. I will get it done. I will get it finished in July. It might not be by the next time I speak to you, but I will get it finished in July. Determined. Right, there is another long-term work in progress, which again you have seen before, but I cannot remember how long ago, so if you don't remember it, don't worry. This is something that has already been messed around with a couple of times, and I'm still not happy with it, and I want to revisit it and turn it into something that I like. It will be for sale, it won't be for me. But yeah, something I like. So let me start from the beginning, because it has been a while since I've spoken about this one. This is from Crochet Society box 39, which is beautiful. So that must be from last, no, what was the one that I showed you for the prize? What number was that? This isn't last Christmas, it's the one before. So what's that, 2022? Winter, Christmas, whatever. I think. Let's see if it says in the booklet actually. And let's see, where's that from? Does it say November 2022? Yeah. And this is from, let me find the pattern for you. This is a pattern designed by Kelly Wilson Moore, who is Love Dotty Crochet on Instagram. And the pattern is for some bunting. It's the, that way? No, that way, there we go. The Peace on Earth bunting. And I saw it and I thought, okay, not really a bunting kind of person, but I like the fact that it's tapestry crochet letters. They've got the whole alphabet in there, I think. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Not going to look now. This is using Crochet Society's own yarn again, the Confection DK, which is lovely yarn, and it really actually kind of annoys me that you can only get it from Crochet Society in their boxes. I would love to be able to buy it separately. So yes, I thought, right, I'm not really a bunting person, but let's make all the letters. I like that it says Peace on Earth. So I made all the letters in the recommended colours, and then I added a little border to them all, and my plan was, here it is, some of them, initially to join them together into just like a bit of like a wall hanging, something to hang on a wall or something to frame, put in a frame. Thought that would look really lovely, and then I couldn't work out a with the colours that I've done, a colour order that I liked for that. I'm not going to go through all of them, but that's the concept. So I gave up on that idea. I thought, what else can I do with them? Put it away. Left it. Last year, at some point, thought, oh, okay, I wonder if I attach them to a bag, a tote bag type thing. This is one of the Hessian jute, whatever you call it, bags I just bought a bunch of Amazon, and started attaching the letters to the front. Sewed them on. That obviously says Earth. But as you can see, I've not managed to do it straight. I'm not really too keen on how that looks at all. So I gave up on that. I'm now thinking the bag is a nice idea. I might be able to make it work, but I think not with one of these. The sizing of the letters is not quite right. I'm thinking maybe a cushion. I'm thinking if I do the letters, attach them together into a square or probably rectangular panel, add a border to the whole thing, maybe add a little bit of extra detail or some extra squares or something, and then do a plain or maybe striped panel in the same colours for the back. What do you think? What do you think? I am thinking that I'm going to completely start again with the letters. Just like plan the colours out a bit more, possibly use some different colours, although I do like those, and if I stick with those ones I can just keep using the same yarn and I know it'll all go together, so I might stick with those, see how much I've got left. Quite a bit, to be fair. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think a cushion would work? Do you think I should try another bag idea? Do you think I should just go to hell with it and make the bunting like the original pattern? Let me know what you think. I'm not quite sure what to do, but again, it's something I want to get finished this month so I can add it into my inventory, ready for later in the year when people start thinking about Christmas orders. I want to have some really nice things available in my shop that I can promote the hell out of in November and hopefully get people to buy. Let me know what you think, if you think a cushion would be a good idea or if you think I should do something else entirely. So that's another whip. What else was I going to tell you about? What other Christmassy things were there? Do you want to do another Christmas cushion? At least one more. I don't know yet which pattern I will use, which yarn I will use, anything. But yeah, I've mentioned earlier, didn't I, about maybe having a little bit of a rebrand, a bit of a tweak of things and narrow my focus a bit. I really want to focus in on the home furnishings side of things, so there will be lots of cushions and other things as well, but lots of cushions in the future to show you, to talk about. So that's all the Christmassy stuff, and I do have other things as well. Hold on. Okay. Bear with, I need to fetch something from the other side of the room. Well, not quite the other side of the room, but far enough I had to actually move to reach it. So, the present for my brother. The long overdue present for my brother. His birthday was at the beginning of April. I think I've told you before, if not here, then on my daily chat videos. Yeah, I've sort of shot myself in the foot a little bit, and I don't mind. You know, I really do want to make this for my brother. I think he's going to love it. Cannot wait to see it. It's taking me a lot longer than I initially anticipated. To the extent, actually, that it was originally taking so long to work up that I edited the pattern pretty heavily. Pattern chart that I came up with. This is a colour work piece that I've done the chart for. so there's no written pattern or anything, but I've done the chart for it. And yes, I edited it quite a lot to reduce the number of colours. Here is a basket of yarn. Now I'm not going to show you a lot of this because as it grows it will become quite obvious what it is, and I do want this to be at least something of a surprise for my brother. I don't know if he watches these videos, but there obviously is a chance that he might, so I'm going to show you this bit. It doesn't look like a lot at the moment, but it is still technically possible to guess what it might end up being. I will say it's going to be a blanket, and hopefully a fairly big one. It's about that wide, I think, maybe a bit more, and it'll be at least that tall as well, maybe a bit more. Yeah, I'm having fun with it now that I've tweaked the original chart. It's working out much more quickly and is much more satisfying to work on. But I really need to make some good progress with this because we are now into the season of there being at least one family birthday a month. Again, it's my mum's in just over a week. I'd like to make her a little something. Hi mum, if you're watching. Then it is one of my sisters in August, and it's also my sister-in-law's at the end of this month, and then it's my two sisters who are twins, it's their birthday in September, and my friend Fee, it's her birthday in September as well. And yeah, spoiler for any of those mentioned people who are watching, I'm really broke at the moment, so you're getting handmade presents. So I don't know what I'm making yet for any of those people, including mum. But yeah, a little something just to remind you that I love you. So obviously my brother's needs to take priority in terms of it was his birthday in April. I'm well overdue. But this is going to be the big present project this year. Everyone else is going to have smaller things because I do not have the time to do a big project for everyone. But yeah, we'll see how I go. I'm rambling a bit now. None of that probably makes any sense. The upshot is I want to make some serious progress on this in July as well. I've already had a couple of really good sessions in the last week and yeah, made good progress on it. I'm about 10% of the way through. Now, it'd be good if I could get, let's say, to 50%. Let's say halfway through. That'd be really good by the end of the month. I'd be happy with that. So, that's that. Big whip. You will be seeing that again. Another much smaller work in progress that, despite it being smaller, is still taking a very long time. I might be about to sneeze, hold on. If I was about to sneeze, it hasn't happened yet, so I'm going to carry on, see what happens. This again is a bag you have seen before. Other way. Bought this on our trip to Edinburgh earlier in the year, and I can't remember what stage this was at the last time I showed you. I have not made a huge amount of progress on it, but I have made a little bit, and I do need to keep chipping away. Again, I would love to get this finished in July. This is for Ned. This is the little challenge he has set me. I am going to sneeze, hang on. Right, try that again. Yes, this is the amigurumi he has asked me to make him, for which there is currently no pattern. So I am starting from scratch. It's really hard work. I have designed, although not written up or released the designs at all, a couple of patterns in the past for other much simpler things, a couple of like filet crochet things in particular, like these sleeves. You know, I did these myself, relatively simple. This is a whole different game. I'm getting there with it. This is, the Pokemon is called Salazzle. Ned says Salazzle. I don't know which is the correct pronunciation. It is spelt Salazzle. I will pop a picture up if I move this here. I'll put a picture up here for you so you can see what the official Pokemon looks like. We have currently a head, a neck, and most of the body. I need to finish off the body and kind of move it into a tail. It's got a long swooshy tail kind of thing going on. And then do arms and legs. And it's just taking a really long time. It is a nice challenge, and it does give me something to really get my teeth into. I just haven't really felt like doing that much lately. So yeah, I need to get on because Ned really wants it to be finished and I want him to have it finished. I am slightly dreading the arms and legs, if I'm honest, because they're very thin, especially the like fingers and toes. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. And then there's detail to add, which I think that'll be okay. That'll be quite fun. Yeah, so far so good. I hope. We'll see how we go. Just a quick recap of the yarn for you. This yarn is from Hobby. It is Hobby Amigo, which is 100% acrylic. It's not the softest acrylic yarn, but it's quite nice, and I think the more it's handled, the more it will soften. And I've got grey and a dark purple, which are apparently the two main colours that I need. So yes, progress on that is slow but steady-ish, and I suspect that will continue to be the case for a while. Hopefully the next time I speak to you it'll yeah, hopefully there'll be more to show. Anyway, it'd be nice if I could at least get to the end of the tail, although it's a long tail. I've already shown you that I'm doing more scrunchies, so I haven't really got any works in progress to show you because they're so quick that they just go like that. But that whole kind of thing is a work in progress in itself. So the other work in progress to show you, let me get the little booklet out so I can tell you all the information in a moment. I have finally started working on making myself a summer top, which I believe I mentioned a little while ago. Excuse me a moment. Yes, I think I've mentioned in the past that is something I wanted to do. And my original plan was to sort of self-draft the construction and use a like a pre-existing lacework looking pattern. Changed that slightly because I thought I'd just have a look at what was out there on Ravelry in terms of lacy summer top patterns, and I found one. Have I got the picture where the shape of it looked lovely? Have I got the picture that I can show you? There. So I will want longer sleeves, but otherwise I think that looks really nice. And the construction is very simple, at least it sounds very simple from having read through the pattern, and it's quite easy to adjust the fit, the length and how deep the V neck is, and it's got instructions for adding sleeves and making longer sleeves if you want. So let's tell you the pattern information. It is called the Vanilla V-neck top. No, Vanilla V-neck tunic, sorry. I didn't write down who it's by, which was foolish. Vanilla V-neck tunic from Right Brain Crochet on Ravelry. Again, obviously I will link it, everything, and it's one of those patterns again where obviously they've recommended yarn and a hook size and the gauge you should get, but because of the way it's constructed you can use whatever you want. And that is good, because I could not get that gauge with this yarn without it looking a right mess, basically. So I am using the same yarn that I've used for these sleeves, but in different colours. Again, just all the colours that I had. Knocking around. So I've got right, the two colours on this panel. We've got Hunting Green, which is the darker one, and Soft Green, which is this lighter one. And then the other colours I've got are all blues. I've got petrol, jeans blue and light blue. And what I'm going to do, just because of the quantities of yarn that I've got, I'm doing one panel, so there will be one side of the top in the greens and one side in the blues. Now, so with so many patterns, of course, I couldn't just stick to the pattern, could I? I have changed things. The stitch pattern itself, it's a free pattern, so I can tell you. I started it here. You get rows of double crochet and then like a V-stitch section, and then rows of double crochet again. The V-stitch section, as you can see here, or sort of see anyway, I don't think it looks very good. This gauge in this yarn, it's not really working. So I've left that bit because I didn't want to frog it and start again. But then I've just been playing around with different stitches. So we've got a bit, what have we got? I've got a bit that's just kind of mesh here. And then I've done a couple of rows of double crochet. Oh, I'll hold it a bit lower so you can see where I'm pointing. More rows of double crochet here, just to separate it. And then I've got, actually very similar to these sleeves, filet crochet hearts there, sideways hearts. I don't know how well you can see that. It's not the easiest thing to show you, but hopefully that kind of works. And then another couple of rows of double crochet and some half double, again just to break it up. And then I am working on this will be a panel of filet crochet again, but like a geometric-ish design that I'm just making up as I go along, to be honest. And that sort of combination of bits of filet crochet and mesh stitch and all that is a lovely drapey yarn anyway, as I've already mentioned. I mean, look at that, it's just beautiful. But keeping the stitches quite open obviously adds to that drape. So obviously it is kind of holey, it will need to be worn over a vest or similar. Let me just check the size. So it does want to be a little bit wider, but honestly not too much. I think if I do a panel kind of that sort of width, that should do it. And then I will do a second panel for the other side in the blues, with more filet crochet stuff, and my plan is to not repeat this. I want to do different, different filet crochet patterns. I saw a really cute like filet crochet kittens pattern. I'm tempted, be a bit quirky. I might do that on the other panel, don't know, but I'm very tempted. Yeah, so the whole top will be kind of stripes of different sections of colour, different sections of stitches, left to right, and then when I add the sleeves, I'll try and match or mirror or contrast or something with the colours, and again I will use filet crochet or similar for the sleeves. I am using with this yarn instantly, again it is a DK weight, as I said before. I'm using a 4mm hook. I personally would normally use probably a 3.5mm for a DK weight because I have got quite loose tension, but I'm wanting loose tension with this, so I'm using the 4mm, and it's nice, it's working out really well. And the last thing I will show you with this for now is the other colours. I'll show you the blues that I've got, if I can without making a right mess. The one thing I don't like about this yarn is because it is so slippery, so silky and gorgeous and smooth, it does not stay wound very well. It really just doesn't. So all the little cakes are a mess. That's the petrol blue. Oh yeah, the colour section's lovely. What's that? Oh, that's more hunting green. I thought I'd run out of hunting green, but I haven't. That's good to know. Some more hunting green left. This is the light blue. I did say I was using light blue, didn't I? And what else have I got? Oh, that was the hunting green that I had left over. I thought I had another blue. Bear with me. What have I done with that book? Yeah, I should have jeans blue as well. What have I done with that? What have I done with it? Why is it not in the bag? Oh, there we go. There we go. I've only got one of the jeans blue, so that'll be quite a narrow strip. This yarn instantly, you get 50g skeins. It's 40% tencel, 60% bamboo. 50g is 130 meters, and that's about it, I think. Yeah. Go handmade tencel bamboo. It comes as some bullet skeins. I ages and ages and ages ago wound this up into little cakes, which, as I have just said, are not staying together very well. Look at the tangled mess that's happening with these. But I do love working with it. So there we go. I will keep going with that. Put this all away again. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's taking a long time to work up because the panels are long. I want it to be quite a long sort of tunic style top. So each panel is 250 stitches top to bottom. So each row, rather. Each row is 250 stitches. So it's taking a while, but it's reasonably easy. The rows that are sort of mesh stitch or that are just plain double crochet, they're fairly quick. So, and you know, the ones that are part of the filet crochet patterns I enjoy doing, so it's fine. I'm just hoping that the next heat wave that will inevitably come holds off for a bit longer, so I've got time to finish that. Right, is that everything? That's all the works in progress. Do you have something else to show you? I couldn't remember then whether I'd got it out. So it's all my works in progress. Like I say, I've got quite a lot to be getting on with, and of course there are so many other things floating around in here that are begging for attention. One little thing, actually, it's not even really a work in progress. Where did I put it? There it is. Last night, I've been toying with the idea of trying this for ages. Last night I had my first ever go at Tunisian crochet, and I love it. So that is a skill I will definitely be practicing more of. I love the way Tunisian colour work looks. I think it's so much neater than normal tapestry crochet. And neat I like, so I'm going to have a play with that. Maybe I'll do that for the piece on Earth. Maybe I'll turn those letters into Tunisian crochet colour work instead of tapestry. Ooh, there's a thought. Watch this space. We shall see what happens. Anyway, moving on. And let's do a quick to-do review. So, as I've just said, on top of all those works in progress that I've already got on, and do need and want to make progress on, there are, as always, so many other things floating around in my head. So, stats for you. Current total works in progress is 12, of which 5 apparently, feels more than that, are properly active at the moment. And that is down 6 on last time. So I've made good progress with that. I have cleared a few. Despite the fact, I've cleared quite a few because I know I've started new ones as well. So I've cleared more than 6. That's good. I will say that doesn't include the scrunchies. And it doesn't include the scrappy blankets that I've got just on the go, because I don't really count them. They are works in progress, but they're not, there's no real purpose to them. I'm just using up scrap yarn. They are time fillers for when I've got nothing else I want to work on, or if I'm going to be in the car for a long time or something like that. And I'm pretty sure as well that there are other projects in my hibernation station over there that are not on that list and should be. So it says 18. It's probably more. Total future projects, that is things that I have got written down that I actively want to make, never mind all the hundreds of other things in my brain, is 18, which is down 2. So that's good. Again, I'm making progress. I am getting through that list. That list will go up and down, probably mostly up, because I'm always thinking of new things and adding them on, and as I'm sure happens to a lot of other people, the ideas come far quicker than I can actually make anything. So it'll be interesting to see what that number does. I have picked one of those works in progress to talk to you about, to show you. I've picked one that actually I think will be reasonably easy to finish off. It's not officially on my list to be finished because I've got other things to focus on, but when I get to it, I think it will be quite easy to finish. So, story behind this is 3 years ago, for Mother's Day, Ned chose me a really beautiful cake of yarn. It's one of the Scapia's Whirl yarns, and it's all sort of turquoisey. I will show you it in a moment. And I thought, right, okay, I need to make something special with that. And I found a pattern that I really loved, which I will show you in a minute when I find the front page of this huge document. Did I print the front page? This is back before I started printing double-sided. Did I get the front page? Sorry, this is rustly and horrible, isn't it? Nice for you. I think it's called Cover Me in Dragonflies, and it's a shawl pattern. Right, now I can't find the front page, but here's the back. I will of course link the project information, so that will take you to the pattern and everything. That's got some of the tester pictures. It's all in black and white. It doesn't show it up very well, unfortunately. And yes, I believe it doesn't say it there, but I think it's called Cover Me in Dragonflies or something very similar. And it is by Sue Stapleton, who I think is Auburn Craft on Ravelry. And it's a really lovely pattern. And I made the shawl, and then I thought, oh, hang on, I don't really wear shawls. I certainly didn't at the time. What's happened here? I'm attached. I'm attached again. Oh, it's the Whirlette label. Sorry, this is very disjointed. So yes, the yarn is Escape as well in Murderous Mint, which is colour 565. Let's see if I can show you this without being completely tangled. And I made the shawl, and then I thought, I don't really wear shawls. Let's see if I can make it into a top. So you can see I've kind of folded it, and that's supposed to be the neckline, like that, with a sleeve kind of off this way. As you can see, that doesn't really line up very well. When I tried it on, it doesn't really fit. And I think conceptually, great. Execution, not. Let's see if I can show you the actual shawl section properly. There we go. So it's got dragonfly bits. Hang on, let me get you a dragonfly there. Filet crochet dragonflies and little flowers, which are a combination of filet crochet and puff stitches, and a sort of diamond pattern that separates them all. It's really pretty. Oh, and then I edged it in Escapies again in the Whirlette. I think that was just black. Which I do like actually. I really like it with a black edge. I think it looks very, very cool. Let me see if I can find that label, because I had it a moment ago. No, of course I can't find it. Did I drop it maybe? Yes, I did. Yes, Whirlette in, yeah, Licorice, which is 851, which is just there, black. So I think what I'm going to do with this, because I do wear shawls a bit more now, and this is a lovely, is it cotton acrylic? It's cake as well, I think it is, isn't it? Pretty sure it's cotton acrylic blend. I should know, I've worked with it plenty. Yeah, 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. So again, it's got a really lovely drape to it, and you know, it's relatively cool fabric. So it's a nice spring, summer, early autumn shawl. The colours are lovely. Not necessarily colours I would always choose for myself, but it's beautiful. And so I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to take this sleeve off. Just going to take it off. And depending on how well I've bound that off, I might even be able to add a couple more rows of the pattern, because I've got a decent amount of the yarn left in the darkest shade of the colourway. Maybe, and even if I don't do that exact pattern along the top, I could just add some more rows of, well, whatever, of the colour anyway. And then, so is that a mess at the border? I don't know. But yes, I'm going to take the sleeve off, turn it back into a shawl. I'm definitely going to do that. And then I might just leave it as it is, to be fair. Or I might amend it slightly, I don't know. again, what do you think? I'm asking your opinion a lot today, aren't I? What do you think I should do? Do you think I should just have it, just take the sleeve off and have it as a shawl as it is? Do you think I should make the shawl bigger? Do you think I should be brave and adventurous and take the sleeve off, but then try again and see if I can make it into a top? What do you think? So yes, that will be going back into the hibernation station for now, but it's now back in my consciousness a bit more, which means when I've finished with all the July stuff, I think it'll be going back on the list properly. Yeah, I think it's going to move its way up the list priority wise, let's put it that way. Okay, on my radar, I have got two quite exciting things on my radar this time. I don't have anything to physically show you, but I will try and put a few pictures up as I go. Yeah, just to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. So there are two make-alongs that they're not both actively running at the moment. One of them is the first one, but they will be, and they've come to my attention and I'm going to get involved. So the first is being run by Martin of Knit365 here on YouTube and Welsh Tenor, I believe, on Instagram. And it is a lovely, informal, relaxed make-along. There isn't much in the way of hard and fast rules at all, which is nice. And he is calling it, the hashtag for it is the Knit365 Summer Make-Along. No, Summer Mal for the hashtag. Nice and simple. And the idea is to pick a project or a few projects that you want to finish within the time scale. It is running from now, it has started. It's running until the 30th of September, so that's a good 3 months. And Martin has said it doesn't have to be something that's already on the go. You can start something new that you aim to finish. You can have one big project or a load of smaller ones. Do what you want, essentially. I have decided I am going to use this to kick myself up the bum and make myself finish that blanket for my brother. 3 months should be plenty of time, even with everything else going on. Like I said, I want to get to 50% by the end of July anyway, if I can. So, another 2 months after that. Great. And that will mean I can give it to him well before Christmas. Be nice if I can get it done before the end of September, but by the end of September will be great. What else can I tell you about the make-along? Is there anything else to say? There will be prizes. Martin hasn't been specific, but he has said that there will be at least some yarn involved. You can use the hashtag and post on Instagram, or you can email your makes to Martin, which is what I'll be doing because I'm not posting anything about that blanket on Instagram yet. So I will be emailing Martin at some point, and that's about it really. I shall find the link to the video in which Martin launched the make-along. I shall pop that in the description for you. And yeah, I think it's just a really great idea. It's nice to have. All make-alongs are lovely. I think generally it's a great concept. But I do really like ones that are focused on helping you to finish something, because I know that's something that, it's certainly something I struggle with. And I know a lot of other knitters and crocheters and general arty crafty types struggle with. We like starting new things. We like the excitement of a new project. And then it gets towards the end and it's like, oh no, I don't want to finish it now. Or even just, not I don't want to finish it, but I've got distracted by something else. So it will be good. Right, the second make along has not started yet. It is being run by Vicky Brown of Vicky Brown Designs, and also her bricks and mortar shop String Cheltenham, which does have its own website as well. It has not started, but there is an official pattern for this one. This is a specific make along, crochet along in fact. She has designed a crochet shawl pattern which is called the oblique shawl. You can buy it from her website. I believe it's £6 for the pattern, which is fine. And it will be being released in 5 parts, 1 a week, starting on August 29th. Yeah, 1 section at a time. You can use your own yarn, or you can purchase yarn sets from Vicky herself. She's got her own yarn sets to go with the pattern, and again I will link to the information for you. I'll link to the pattern, I'll link to the yarn sets. I think there's an Instagram post that's got a lot of information in it, so I'll link to that as well. And it tells you how much yarn you'll need and what weight to fit the pattern. Obviously you can use other yarns, it's fine, it's a shawl, but it'll give you an idea of how much you need at least. And yeah, it's a mystery cowl, so we know it's going to be a shawl. I've seen a picture, I think, of the finished shawl, but we don't know the pattern yet, and you'll get 1 section of the pattern per week, so you don't know exactly what it's going to be like until you get through it, which I quite like. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with the week by week progress, but I will do my best when it comes to it. I love Vicky's yarn. I haven't been able to purchase the set yet, and I don't think I'm going to be able to. Just money's tight. I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, I'm having to be a little bit careful about spending at the moment, much to my dismay. There is lots and lots and lots of pretty yarn and other things out there that I really want to buy, and I can't. It's making me sad. But I have bought the pattern because it was only £6, and I'm going to join in. I don't know which yarn I'm going to use yet. I've got time to figure that out. So yeah, but I've got plenty in my stash. I think she suggests, I can't remember now, it'll be in the links, but I think she suggests a solid or semi-solid for part of it, and then maybe a speckle for another part, possibly. And I'm sure I've got plenty that fits that brief. So that is on my radar. It's nice to have things to tell you about. And I know I've just said money's tight, and I've got a bit of a spending ban on, and I've got one little bit of incoming for you, so here we go. Now, sorry, my stomach's rumbling. It's nearly lunchtime, I think. Well, no, gosh, I've been talking for ages. It's 11:10. But hey, there's not much more now. Yes, I'm very hungry. I have recently, in the past couple of months, I've started purchasing from Temu. For a long time I didn't, for various reasons. And then it was before Ned's birthday, I bought all the items for his party bags from Temu because they were so much cheaper than anywhere else. I think I saved myself about £60 doing that, which is a lot. And ever since then, yeah, I've been back a few times for things I don't really need, but I want. That's not fair. Every single order has had something I need in it. One thing at least. Mostly been buying crafty bits and bobs to, bits of equipment, a few materials for making the various things that I make. And the last order that I put in, I was specifically looking for a couple of things which are not important right now, and I think they got me to And then I found a couple of other bits and bobs, and I got to about 12 quid, I think, in my basket. And Temu won't ship unless your order is over £15. I don't know what that converts to in other currencies, but UK, £15. I thought, what can I get? Alright, because I need these 2 bits and I want those 2 bits, so what else can I get? It isn't a complete waste of money. Well, I know, I'll have a look and see what they've got in the way of yarn. You know, I do prefer to buy from independent stores or UK stores or yarn specific stores or small, you know, indie yarn dyers. Of course I do. I thought it's a one-off. Let's just see what they've got. And I just searched yarn. Didn't do anything specific at all. This is one of the first ones that came up. It is a chunky chenille, and that is about all I know. It's got sort of self-striping, although they're very short, so it's going to be more sort of self-speckling colours in, I don't really know what colour that is. You can see better than me, I'm sure. And there's some lighter bits. Oh, there's a bit that shows you a good little representation of the colours involved in it. It did come as a bullet skein. I just bought it up because it was a candidate for making scrunchies, but I need a much bigger hook. Didn't work with the hook I was using, and so I don't know what, but I'm going to use it for something else, I think. Now, the one thing I will say, you know, it feels like perfectly decent yarn. It was nice and cheap. That's the label. There is no information on there. I don't know, apart from my handwritten note about how much it weighs. There's 46 grams of it. I know that much. I don't know what official yarn weight it is. I'm saying chunky because it feels like a chunky, but I don't know that that's actually right. I don't know what the yardage is. I don't know what it's made from. So, not the end of the world. You know, it was an experiment. It was a basket filler. And I do like it. Will I be able to buy yarn from Temu again? Maybe. But it's not a definite yes. I don't know. But hey, it's fun. It looks fun. And I'm sure I'll find something fun to make with the entire 46 grams of it that I've got. But that's it. That's all my acquisitions. That's not true. I'm going to save it for next time. The latest, and I think my last, Crochet Society subscription box arrived the other day. I'll show you the box actually. Maybe. Where's it gone? Okay. Is number 49. It's very pretty. And I do quite like the theme. But yes, I think I should save that for next time, especially because this video is quite long already. And that's it. There's not going to be a lot else coming in. I have ordered a couple of bits that are not yarn related, but no, they are not yarn, and they're not like fun things. There's no ribbons or buttons or beads or anything like that, but there are a couple of things that are for the business, so when they come I might show you those. We'll see. But yeah, I'm trying really hard to not spend a lot. And on that note, let's have a little chat, shall we? Although first I'm going to get the rest of my tea. There's only a very little bit left. When it's kept nice and warm, I thought I'd go today. I've brought my travel mug flask thing because it keeps it lovely and warm for me, but it's easier to drink out of a cup, so Best of both worlds today. Right, little chat. So, surgery. Last time I spoke to you, I was a few days away from going in for my sinus surgery. I have had it now. It went really well. The surgery itself was very smooth sailing. I had no real ill effects from the general anaesthetic or anything, which was great. Didn't even say anything embarrassing apparently. It's all very boring. The surgeon was happy with the work done, said it was all fine. My face felt horrendous and I looked an absolute state for a couple of days afterwards. Had a very, without wishing to go into too much detail because I don't want to gross you out, I had a very leaky nose for a couple of days, shall we say. But it started clearing up fairly quickly, and is now, I don't think it's fully healed internally, but it's pretty much there. And my sinuses do feel clearer than they used to. Not as clear as I'd hoped, but all the information I was given did say it can take a couple of months for it to properly have an effect afterwards. So we shall see how I go. And actually, yes, I've had to cough a couple of times today. Not nearly as much as I normally would. Yes, my throat has been a bit croaky and it is a little bit sore. Not nearly as much as it normally would be. So, if you compare that to the last time when I was constantly having to stop to cough, definite improvement, so that's good. Hopefully it'll get better and better over the next couple of months. There was one complication. Indirect result of the surgery, and I am not blaming the staff, the nurses and the anaesthetists and the surgeons. It's not their fault. But as a result of the surgery, I have ended up with a collapsed lung. It's flipping typical. Go in with one thing, come out with something else. So I didn't realise straight away. In hindsight, I should have done. But there was so much else going on that was affecting my breathing that I just didn't twig that something was really wrong. And so by the time I was seen, I ended up going to A&E so the surgery was on a Monday. The following Friday morning I ended up going to the doctor and was sent to A&E because my oxygen levels were too low, basically. Not dangerously low, but lower than they want them to be. Lower than I want them to be. And yeah, I was, it was slowing down the recovery basically. My face was recovering fine, but I had no energy. I didn't even crochet for a few days. I just couldn't think properly or anything. I was lucky in that it wasn't painful, but I was very short of breath, couldn't get a full breath in at all, was having to pause 2 or 3 times per sentence while talking. That should have been a big clue. But the good news is that by the time I did go and get seen, it was already starting to fix itself. And so it was decided that they wouldn't take any actual action. The options were discussed. There were a couple of procedures that can be carried out if required to help things along. But we discussed it all. I had an X-ray and they discussed that with me and everything else. And again, the doctors involved were brilliant, and it was very well looked after by the nurses and everything. And it was decided we would just monitor the situation, let it carry on fixing itself, hopefully. and it has continued to do so. So that was the right decision to make, especially because the procedures involved, yes, they help. There is a risk of them causing another puncture, and so you get relief and you feel like you've got better, and then a couple of days later it's just like, no, okay, back to square one. So I haven't had to risk that happening. At the moment I've now had the initial visit to A&E, and the following Monday, which was last week, had another x-ray and a checkup, and there was already an improvement, so they were happy with that. Went back yesterday for another x-ray and another checkup, have that reviewed, and again there's been a lot of progress. It's definitely healing up and sorting itself out. I'm not 100% there. As you can, I can talk fine. I can do, general moving about is fine. I do get more breathless than I normally would. So it's still affecting me. It's not fully healed, but I'm making really, really good progress. I've got another review in 2 weeks now, just short of 2 weeks yesterday, and it's looking good. So hopefully the next time I speak to you, I will have a fully healed lung. Yeah, it's been a bit of an adventure. Ned got really worried. Bless him. That's my son. If you don't know, he's 8 years old, and obviously he knew the surgery was coming, and that was worrying him enough. Sorry if you can hear Kelvin, he's got a bit loud. And then because I just wasn't well, he was really worried, and he's still even more clingy than usual, but that's kind of lovely. And we're getting there. He knows I'm getting better, so he's feeling better about it, so that's good. But yes, that's the surgery. I wanted to tell you all about that. I have had a few people check in, make sure that I'm okay, and that's been really lovely. So if you are one of those people, thank you very, very much. I really, really appreciate it. What else was I going to talk about? I can't remember if I mentioned last time. I have officially booked the venue, got the date for the next market that I'm going to host. It will be on the 5th of October, which I believe is a Saturday. Yes, it is. It will be at the Wesley Chapel in Harrogate again, same venue as the one I've just done. And I'm looking forward to it. I've got a couple of ideas, mostly inspired by discussions with vendors who came to the last one, to hopefully make it even more successful. I want to get some musicians, some bands, some music artists in, local preferably, to do a bit of live music. I want someone to set up a sort of pop-up cafe thing, basically aiming to not just get people through the door, but to make them hang around a bit, so that they actually spend some time looking at what's on offer, which will hopefully generate a few more sales for people, myself included. With it being at the beginning of October, my focus will be Halloween related makes, and I assume other vendors will feel similar, but that's up to them. And yeah, very much in the early planning stages still at the moment. But obviously time will fly. It is July already, so what have we got? July, August, 3 months basically to get everything sorted for it. Yeah, should be good. The last one was really lovely. It was a very quiet day, but most people had a really good time. Most people have said they will happily come back. Maybe they haven't seen the email yet. I've got a couple booked in already, which is good. And yeah, I will get in touch again, I think, with my current list of vendors with a reminder, give it another week or so, and then advertise properly for vendors from the wider community. But obviously, if you're watching this and you are interested in trading, or you are a live musician, or you can do a pop-up cafe, then please let me know. Not a lot else to say really, just a quick reminder about the giveaway that I mentioned at the beginning. Details will all be in the description. To enter, you can comment on this video or on the Instagram post that will be going up, and you can get extra entries by sharing it in your story and tagging me. You must tag me when you share it in your stories. It will be open until, I think I said, the 16th of July. That sounds right. And there's lots you can win, so make sure you enter to be in with a chance of winning. And now it's really just remains for me to wrap things up and say goodbye. So any other last little bits of housekeeping? The next market I am attending is on the 27th of July in Boston Spa, so if you are in the area then please do come and say hello. That would be lovely. I can't remember the exact venue. I think it's the town hall. I have been before. So yeah, looking forward to that. It'd be lovely to see you there. I will next be recording on the 17th of July, and that will be published on the 19th. And that's it. So thank you very much for watching, especially if you have got this far. I know it's a really long one. I've now been chatting for over 2 hours. The video length should be less than that because of editing, but you never know. I've got that bit of extra footage to add in earlier on. Yeah, but no, I hope this has been interesting for you. Oh, there's noise outside now. Very noisy day, sorry. What was I saying? The train of thought's gone again. Yeah, just wrapping up. Thank you for being here. If you have subscribed already, that's amazing. Thank you. I think there's been a couple of new people again, so if that's you, thank you very much. It's lovely to have you here. If this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, I hope you will come back and watch some more. It'd be lovely to have you here. If you are a returning viewer, thank you as always. It's really, really wonderful. It blows my mind a bit that people actually come and watch me jabbering on about crochet and life and being incredibly scatterbrained and disorganised. Yeah, I really, really do appreciate it. And yeah, all the usual nonsense. If you haven't subscribed and you would like to support the channel, please do subscribe, especially if you are interested in seeing future videos, because you can set the notification very, very easily just by clicking the little bell, and you'll get told every time I release a new video. If you have enjoyed today, please drop a little thumbs up for me. It really, really does help the dreaded algorithm. Just to know that people are watching it and liking it, and that helps get it out to other people, which helps my channel to grow. If you feel like sharing it with friends or family or enemies, then please do. Feel free. You can always come and follow me on Instagram. I welcome comments here and on Instagram. Do get in touch. You can message me as well. My email address is in the description. If not directly, you can get to it via my link tree, which is definitely down there. So yeah, I'm easy to find. I'm easy to get in touch with, and I love hearing from you. That's it. Thank you again. I'm going to stop babbling, and I will be back in 2 weeks' time. Alright, bye for now.